Okay, so let's say I have one angle and I'm trying to find its complement. The complement would be the angle that if you added it to the first angle, those two angles together would add up to 90. So for example, if our given angle is 40 degrees and I'm trying to find its complement, I know that if I'm trying to find the complement, what plus 40 is going to add up to 90. So my process is I'm going to take my angle and subtract it from 90. So 90 minus 40 is going to give me the resulting complement. So if my angle is 40 degrees, if its measure is 40 degrees, then its complement is 50 degrees. I subtracted my angle from 90. So now if instead of me giving you an angle measure, instead of giving it as a number, degrees, it's just a variable x, same process. To find the complement of x, I'm just going to subtract it from 90. So this would be 90 minus x. So unlike here, these were like terms. 90 and 40 are like terms, so I can combine them. 90 minus 40 is 50. These are not like terms. So my resulting complement is 90 minus x. And if you want to be real fancy, you put in parentheses, and then that's degrees, because it's 90 minus x degrees. So if my angle is 3x minus 10, if that's my measure, my angle is 3x minus 10 degrees, same process. I'm going to take my angle and subtract it from 90. But this time, I have to keep that in parentheses. So what I'm going to have to do is take this negative and distribute it. So that's going to give me 90. I should have left more space for that. I'm going to distribute that negative, so that'll give me 90 minus 3x, and minus two negatives make a positive, plus 10. And so now I can combine like terms. I can add the 90 and the 10 to get 100 minus 3x. So the complement of 3x minus 10 is 100 minus 3x. So the big idea is if you have an angle, and it doesn't matter if it's 50 or 40 degrees, if it's a number, if it's a variable, or if it's an expression, what you're going to do is you're going to take the angle and subtract it from 90. You might have to put it in parentheses if it's an expression, and then distribute the negative. But to find a complement, you subtract your angle from 90. To find a complement, you subtract the angle from 90. So let's maybe write that up here. Okay, so if we're going to try and find the supplements, two angles that are supplementary add up to 180. So if we're trying to find the supplement of an angle, we're going to subtract it from 180. So the supplement of 40, we're going to do 180 minus 40. The resulting supplement is 140 degrees. 40 degrees plus 140 degrees, that adds up to 180. They're supplementary. So the supplement of 40 is 140. Same thing. If we're looking for an angle and we just know that it's x, we're going to subtract it from 180. So this would be, the supplement would be 180 minus x. Those are not like terms. I cannot combine them. So the resulting supplement is 180 minus x degrees. And I want to find the supplement of 3x minus 10. So I'm going to subtract that angle from 180. Oh, I did the same thing again. Whoopsies. Can you write it a little bit smaller? Subtract it from 180. 180 minus 3x minus 10. Subtracting my angle from 3x minus 10. So I'm going to have to distribute that negative. 180. Ooh, why is it doing that? 180 minus 3x plus 10. Because the negative times the negative is positive. That's supposed to be an 8. Right here, this disaster. Here, let's try it with my mouse. It's so janky. Oh well, you get it. 180 minus 3x plus 10. Combine like terms, 180 plus 10 is 190 minus 3x in parentheses. So the big idea, if you're trying to find the supplement of an angle, you're going to subtract the angle from 180 to get its supplement. So in a word problem, whenever you are taking the words and the vocabulary and you're trying to like assign variables and set up an equation, the angle that you're trying to find, you're going to call x, or whatever variable you choose, but we're going to use x in these examples, but you can honestly use whatever variable, but you're going to assign your variable to your angle. So if your angle is x, the supplement of that angle is 180 minus x. Remember, we just talked about that you subtract the angle from 180 if you're trying to find the supplement. The complement of that angle is 90 minus x. So when you see a word problem and you're trying to take the words and switch it to an equation, the angle is x, the supplement's 180 minus x, the complement is 90 minus x. So here's an example. The measure of the supplement of an angle is 60 degrees less than 3 times the measure of the complement of the angle. Holy guacamole, that is a lot of words. So this is where it's really important. We want to set up our angles and complements and supplements and assign variables. So I'm going to call my angle x. So that means that the supplement of the angle is 180 minus x, and that means that the complement of the angle is 90 minus x. So now I'm going to take this whole long sentence and start swapping out x, 180 minus x, and 90 minus x into this sentence, and then set up an algebraic equation. Okay, so the first thing, the measure of the supplement of an angle. We can swap all of that out with 180 minus x. So that's the first thing, 180 minus x. Next word is. In a mathematical expression, is an equal sign. So 180 minus x is equals 60 less than. So that means I'm going to be subtracting 60 from something. So I'm going to leave some space. I'm going to eventually be subtracting 60 from something. So I'm going to put, whenever you're subtracting, put it at the end. So I'm subtracting 60 from something. 60 less than, and the next part is 3 times the measure of the complement of the angle. So the measure of the complement of the angle is 90 minus x. But we're doing 3 times that. So we're doing 3 times the measure of the complement, which we know the measure of the complement is 90 minus x. So let's read this sentence back and make sure our equation lines up. The measure of the supplement of an angle, which is 180 minus x, is equals 60 less than, subtracting 60, 60 less than 3 times, 3 times the measure of the complement. The complement is 90 minus x, even though that's the saddest looking 90 ever, the 90. So now this is just an algebraic equation. We're going to distribute, combine like terms, solve it just like normal. So 180 minus x equals 3 times 90, 270, distribute the 3. 3 times negative x is negative 3x. Minus 60, we're going to combine like terms. 180 minus x equals 270 minus 60 is 210 minus 3x. I just ran out of space. So the next thing, let's go up here. I'm going to add 3x to both sides, so that's going to give me 180 plus 2x equals 210. And I'm going to subtract 180. So that's going to give me 2x equals 30. Divide by 2. And so x equals 15. So what that means is our angle is 15 degrees, which means its supplement would be 180 minus 15, so its supplement's 165, and the complement would be 75 degrees. So we can actually go plug all of that back in, the measure of the supplement, 165, is 60 less than 3 times the measure of the complement. So in my calculator, just to check it, I'm going to do 3 times the measure of the complement, which is 3 times 75. And then to subtract 60 from that, and I get 165, the supplement. So our angle, though, the measure of the angle is 15 degrees. The measure of the angle is 15 degrees.